Hello guys, welcome to another video of TCS Baba. In the last video you have seen the basic features of Indian economy, what are the strengths, what are the weakness of the Indian economy. Now after that you guys will be curious about how to compare between different economies, what are the strengths and what are the weakness of different economies. A very basic tool for that is to compare the national income. There are various ways to measure and there are various methodologies to measure the national income of a country. These things are described in these videos. The reference books that I have used here is K. Shankar Ganeshan's book, the link for which is given below. You can purchase that book from Amazon, and also Tamil Nadu board books, that also the link is there in the description below. So I would request you guys to watch the full video and then go back to those reference books to revise all the topics. So till now I have covered the basic features of Indian economy in my last two videos. In this video I'll be talking about the national income. This is a very important topic in your GS paper 4. So let's start. So in this video I'll be discussing what are the different measures of national income, what's the methodology for measuring the national income, and how it is done in India. Before starting, let's see what is actually the national income in the very basic form. National income is nothing but the total money value. See, total money value of all final goods and services. Please give your focus to each and every words. Okay, each and every words in economics has some meaning. So national income is nothing but the total money value of all final goods and services produced in a country during a particular period of time, which is usually 1 year period. Total money value in terms of money, in terms of monetary value, the final goods. What is final good? For example, let's take the example of crude oil. From crude oil, after refining, petroleum is produced. Petrol, diesel, petroleum jelly, kerosene, so many things are produced. So crude oil is not the final product, but petrol is the final product. So we take the money value of the final product. Final product, final services. What are services? Services may be teaching profession, let it be medical profession. So many services are being provided. So goods and services both produced in a country during a particular period of time, which is usually 1 year. So calculating that in totality gives you the national income. Why is the national income important? The national income provides a comprehensive measure of the economic activity of the nation. How much economic activity is happening in the country, the national income gives an idea of that. It also denotes country's purchasing power. Purchasing power, in essence, how much it can import from other countries, that you can say is the purchasing power. So the growth of the economy is measured by the rate at which the real national income grows. It's not only national income, it is the real national income. What is real national income? We will discuss about it later. So the different measures of national income. How many ways you can measure the national income? There is GDP, there is GNP, there is NNP, NNPFC, PI, DPI. Gross domestic product, gross national product, net national product at factor cost, personal income, and disposable personal income. So let's go deeper into each of the terms. First, GDP. GDP क्या होती है? GDP is gross domestic product. See, study all this thing. Don't mug up any of this word, any of these terminologies. I will not give you any definition sort of, but I will try to explain what it is. So that once you see the term, by that only you know what is the meaning of that term. You don't have to mug up anything. So gross domestic product. So what is the key word in this thing? It is domestic. Domestic is the key word. Domestic means it's something related to the geographical area. So the total quantity of final goods and services produced in the country. In the country means within the boundary of the country by both Indians and foreigners, residents and foreign nationals. Residents, foreign nationals, both are residing in the country. Whatever economic activity they are doing inside the boundary of the country, इंडिया के बाउंड्री के अंदर जितना भी काम हो रहा है, whatever revenue is being generated, whatever income is being generated, that measurement gives the gross domestic product. In other terms, GDP is equal to Q into P. Q होता है total quantity of the final goods and service produced in the country by both Indian and foreigners residing within Indian boundary, and P होता है क्या, price of the final goods and services. So multiplied these two, you got the gross domestic product. For example, let's say there are 40 crore Indian and they earn 100 crore in the Indian territory. Indian boundary के अंदर 40 crore Indian earn 400 crore. And let's say there are 1 crore Indians, 1 crore foreigners, and they earn 10 crore in Indian territory and also send this money to their respective country. And let's say there are 2 crore Indians who are living abroad, NRIs, and they earn 40 crore and send money to India. ठीक है, तो 40 crore Indian earning 400 crore inside the Indian boundary, 1 crore foreigner, they earned 10 crore in the Indian territory but they send it to their own country, and 2 crore Indian who are living abroad and they earn 40 crore and send it back to India. Now as per our GDP definition, what is GDP? Gross domestic product. This will be 400 crore which is earned in the Indian territory, 400, and 10 crore by the foreigner which is earned in the Indian territory. So total 400 plus 10 is 410 crore will be the GDP of India. Here 2 crore Indian living abroad who they send the money back to India, this will not be counted because this is not within the territory of India. Now the next term, GNP, gross national product. GNP सुनने से which is the indicator word? N, national. Gross national product. National means क्या है? By the citizens of the country. Here what we have to see is whatever income is generated by the citizens of the country, and the citizens can be living inside the territory of India and they may also be living abroad. ठीक है, तो उन लोगों का इनकम ही will count, will give the gross national product. The formula क्या है GNP का? GNP is GDP. GDP का ऑलरेडी फॉर्मूला दिया हुआ है पहले, GDP प्लस X माइनस M. X क्या होता है? Export, inward remittances of goods produced and service rendered by citizens abroad. Whoever citizens are staying outside India, whatever goods and services they are producing and getting income in other countries, they send it back to India. A portion of that is sent back to India. That portion is the export portion. What is import? X minus M. What is import? Outward remittance from goods produced and services rendered by foreigners in domestic area. तो import क्या है? M. Those are goods and services produced by foreigners who are residing inside the territory of India. तो export होता है by the citizens who are staying outside the country and sending money back to India, and import is the goods and services produced by foreigners inside the Indian territory and sending it back to their own country. So that money is not staying inside India, that is going outside. ठीक है, so this is the formula. So x minus m जो होता है, x minus m को we also write it as net factor income from abroad. In essence, whatever money is coming from abroad and the foreigners who are giving it back, that is also called net factor income from abroad. So GNP equal to GDP plus net factor income from abroad. Continuing on the last example only, here GNP is GDP plus x minus m. So GNP क्या होगी? Rupees 410 crore. Already we have calculated GDP 410 crore plus x is the export, मतलब 2 crore Indian living abroad and sending 40 crore into India, that is the 40, and 10 is whatever money is going outside of India. So 40 minus 10, x minus n, ये हो गया 440 crore. So GDP was 410 crore, gross national product is 440 crore. Now if the money coming from abroad is less and the money going out of India is more, then obviously GNP will be less than GDP. Okay, so it all depends on the net factor income from abroad. The income is more, the GNP will be higher. Now net national product, here the term is net and national. So net national product is a derivative of the gross national product, and wherever the term net is coming, we have to look at depreciation. ठीक है, तो depreciation क्या होता है? Depreciation is basically the wear and tear of goods produced. Whatever goods are produced, let's say this year, it will, the value of that product will devalue after a year, 2 year. For example, आपने आज गाड़ी खरीद ली 10 लाख में, after a year the price of that car will be around 5 to 6 lakhs. So similarly, the goods lose their value, that means it depreciates, and that thing is accounted for in the net national product. So क्या होता है कि depreciation जो होता है, it doesn't add value to current year's total produce. For example, whatever depreciation, the value that is being lost by any product, that doesn't add to the this year's total produce. This depreciation is used to keep the products already produced intact. So an amount, a money is also spent, for example servicing and everything is done to keep the products which are already produced and already counted for. One car which was 10 lakh rupees, the value of that is already counted for, let's say in that year. In the next year, whatever servicing cost is done, because the car has lost its value, that thing doesn't add to this year's produce. It's just that servicing is done to keep that previous year's product intact and running. So if you deduct all those depreciation from the gross national product, you get the net national product. GNP क्या था? GNP was GDP plus net factor income from abroad, and out of that total, if you deduct the depreciation, you get the net national product. This net national product is calculated at market price, and market price includes the indirect taxes and excludes the subsidies. We also denote NNP as NNP at market price. Let's say the cost of production of a product is 100 rupee and government gave a subsidy of rupees 20. The price of the product comes down to rupees 80. 100 minus 20, 80. Now comes the most important one, NNP at factor cost. Factor cost, and this NNP at factor cost is otherwise called the national income. This is the most important one, NNP at factor cost. NNP at factor cost equal to NNP at market price. जो पहले हमने देखा, NNP at market price which included indirect tax and excluded subsidy. So उसका उल्टा कर दो, NNP at market price, you deduct the indirect tax and add the subsidy, you get the NNP at factor cost. This NNP at factor cost is calculating only on the basis of cost incurred to produce the goods and services. What are the major factors of production? Land, लेबर, कैपिटल एंड एंटरप्रेन्योर, ये चार होते हैं फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. सो एनएनपी एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट इज बेसिकली calculated based on the payments that are made to these factors of production to land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and this is calculated by deducting the indirect taxes and adding the subsidy to NNP at market price, which will give the NNP at factor cost, which in other terms is called the national income. So if you are asked what is the national income, you have to write NNP at factor cost only, the definition regarding the NNP at factor cost only. पर्सनल इनकम. पर्सनल इनकम क्या होता है? पर्सनल इनकम इज द टोटल इनकम रिसीव्ड बाय द इंडिविजुअल ऑफ ए कंट्री from all sources before payment of direct taxes in a year. Personal income क्या होता है? The formula seems थोड़ा सा complicated. It's very simple, don't worry about it. Personal income is NNP at factor cost. We have already defined what is NNP at factor cost. NNP and factor cost minus the social security contributions and the undistributed corporate profits plus the transfer payments. We'll go deeper into this. Social security contribution क्या होता है? The payments towards pension and PF. Those who are already working, they will be seeing in their payment slip, the salary slip, some portion of the salary goes towards your pension, and some is also towards your provident fund, the GPF, EPF, PPF. So many provident funds are there. So that portion is not which you are getting as personal income. So that SSC, the social security contribution, is deducted from NNP at factor cost, which is the undistributed corporate profits. Those who are working in private sector, a portion of the profit is kept with the corporates to meet future expenses. The whole amount is not given to you as salary. Whatever salary or cost to CTC is given to you, a portion is kept with the corporates to meet future expenses. So that portion is also deducted from NNP at factor cost. Now what is transfer payments? Transfer payments क्या होता है? The payments made not against any productive activity of the receiver. For example, old age pension that is given, that is a sort of income for that individual, but it is not for something that he is doing. It is for something that he has already done. Unemployment compensation, this pretty much explains key for due to unemployment a small amount of compensation is given, and also something like during disaster, then disaster relief is given. That is an income, but that is transfer payments. So all these things are added to net national product at factor cost, which gives the personal income. डिस्पोजेबल पर्सनल इनकम क्या होता है? जस्ट पर्सनल इनकम से डायरेक्ट टैक्स माइनस कर देना. डिस्पोजेबल पर्सनल इनकम इज द इनकम अवेलेबल टू इंडिविजुअल्स that can be disposed at their will. This direct tax is not at their will. Direct tax is whatever the government decide that you have to pay. So this direct tax after deduction from personal income gives you the disposable personal income that you can decide on at your own will. In other words, disposable personal income is your consumption plus savings. Whatever you are spending on anything, any goods and services, that is your consumption, your expenditure, plus whatever you are saving. So that gives you disposable personal income. So after you have calculated national income for any year, now how do you compare it with different years? What you do is take one year as the base year और उसके रेफरेंस में बाकी different prices you compare. Now, to calculate and compare the national income is calculated with reference to a particular year. This is called base year. जो base year के reference में you get the comparison, and whatever is the price in that base year, that is called the constant price. Price of all products in that base year is the constant price of that year. Now you want to calculate between 2007-8 and 2008-9. So whatever is the price in 2007-8, that is the current price, is what we say current price of 2007-8. 2008-9, what is the current price of 2008-9. Now national income at constant price मतलब क्या था? बेस ईयर का प्राइस. ठीक है, तो national income at constant price is Q is the total quantity of goods and service produced into the price of base year or constant price. This in other terms is called real income. ठीक है, इसको बोलते हैं real income. And national price at current price means price of the particular year. This is in other terms called nominal income. These are also very important concepts. Real income क्या होता है और nominal income क्या होता है. Constant price is the base year price. Current price is any other year price which we have to compare between. Current price is will always be after the constant year's price. Let's take an example to understand it better. So let's say the base year is 2004-5 and the base year price is rupees 100 rupees, an average of rupees 100 rupee. So ये base year price क्या हुआ? This is the constant price. ठीक है? Now let's say कि we want to find out the national income for 2007-2008. The total quantity produced during 7-8 is 120 and the current price of that year was rupees 110. ठीक है? So at constant price, if we find the national income, then this will be 120 the quantity into 100 the base year price rupees 100. So this is 12,000. National income at current price क्या होगा? 120 into rupees 110. Rupees 110 मतलब the current year price. So what is this? This is real national income. And what is this? This is nominal. ठीक है? Now national income for 2008-9, total quantity produced is 110 and the price was, let's say, rupees 130. So at constant price, this is 110 into 100, that comes to 11,000, and at current price the nominal national income is 110 into rupees 130, that is 14,300. तो आप लोगों ने देखा अभी कि रियल नेशनल इनकम ऑफ 2007-8 is 12,000, for 2008-9 is 11,000, but at current price this is 13,200 in 2007-8 and 14,300 in 2008-9. Now what is GDP deflator? GDP deflator is the nominal GDP divided by real GDP into 100. The GDP deflator is an index of price change of goods and services included in GDP. This is for a single year. For a particular year, the ratio of nominal GDP and real GDP is the GDP deflator. It shows the overall rise in level of price. Let's take an example to understand it better. Let's say the base year is 2004-5 and the base year price is rupees 100, and we have to find out the GDP deflator for 2007-8. Going by the previous example, the real income, as we have already calculated, is rupees 12,000 and the nominal income is 13,200. So GDP deflator क्या हुआ? The nominal divided by the real into 100. 13,200 by 12,000 into 100. What is it? 110. It's an index, it's a ratio. So price is actually 110% and the price rise is 10%. ठीक है? इससे यही समझ में आता है. Now to compare between two different years, we have to find out what's the income growth, national income growth. Now national income growth can be calculated again at current price or at constant price. If you are calculating at current price, national income growth, this is the national income of this year minus the national income of previous year divided by national income of previous year into 100. Same formula for constant price. Now to understand it better through an example, we'll again go by the previous example. As we know, 2007-8 ka real was 12,000, nominal 13,200. For 8-9 it is 11,000 real, 14,300 nominal. ठीक है? तो national growth at current price for 2008-9, 2008-9 का growth कितना हुआ compared to 2007-8? How much is the growth? At current price is 14,300. 14,300 of this year minus 13,200 of previous year divided by 13,200 of previous year into 100. This comes to 8.33%. So this is the national income growth at current price. So what is this? This is the nominal growth. Now at constant price, we calculate for 2008-9 is 11,000 here minus 12,000 here divided by 12,000. This comes out to minus 8.33%. This is the real income growth. ठीक है? So if we compare the nominal income growth, suddenly we see that there is a positive growth, but if we look at the real growth, we see there is a negative growth. Now negative growth, so this nominal growth gives you a false idea of a growth. If you have to always look at the real income growth. ठीक है? तो real income growth क्यों हुआ? negative. See, 120 was the goods and services produced in 2007-8, but in 2008-9 it actually reduced 110. So goods and services production, the output was less. The higher nominal income was because of the higher prices. Okay, nothing else. Because there was a price rise, hence the GDP was higher. But in reality, the growth was negative. Now we have covered the different types of national income. Now let's look at the different methods of measuring the national income. Let's look at this simple flow chart. So households and business firms. Okay. Between households and business firm, what does the business firm need to produce the products? They need the factor of production. Factor of production क्या होता है? Land, labor, land, capital and entrepreneur. Who provides them? The households provides the business firms the labor, land, capital, entrepreneur. Because the households provide them all this factor of production, what do the households get? From the labor they get wages, from land they get rent, from capital they get interest, from entrepreneur they get profit. Okay. At the same time, after getting the factor of production, once the business firms produce all the product, now the households pay the business firms money, that is the consumption expenditure, and since the households provide them money, the goods and services are provided by the business firms. Okay. So how do you calculate the national income out of this structure? Okay. So it can be calculated in three different ways. देखो consumption expenditure है. If you calculate the total consumption expenditure, the total spending of the households, that is the society, you can find out the total national income. If you calculate the total output of the business firms, that is the goods and services, you can calculate the national income. If you calculate the income generated from the factor of production, thereby also you can calculate the national income. All these three will be same. Based on the previous slide, these are the three major methods. One is the income method or factor earning method, product or output method or production method or value added method, and expenditure method or consumption method. So what is the income method? Income method is nothing but the income from the different factors of production. Factors we have already discussed. So national income क्या होता है? That is the total wage plus total rent plus total interest plus total profit. It's basically national income is the domestic factor income, that is this, plus the net factor income from abroad. This we have already discussed earlier. What is the net factor income from abroad? In other words, national income equal to W plus R plus I plus P plus R minus P. Wages, rents, interests, profit, and R minus P is the net factor income from abroad, that is export minus import. Output method. In output method, what do you do? You get the gross value of output from various sectors. Okay. This is in other terms GNP at market price. Market price is important here. So we go by the concept of gross value added. What is gross value added? Gross value added is the output of final goods and services minus the intermediate consumptions. Okay. Final goods and services, whatever is produced, to avoid double counting. Let's say a steel manufacturing plant produces steel and a furniture manufacturing company produces a steel furniture out of it. So if once you calculated the price of steel as the final product, and then again you start calculating the final product of steel furniture, this you will be doing double counting of steel. Okay. To avoid that, output of final goods and services minus intermediate consumption, what is there is the gross value added. So only the gross value added at each step is included in the national income. Okay. So national income is the gross value added plus the indirect taxes minus the subsidies. Whatever subsidy is provided by the government, you deduct that from the gross value added. Now the final one is the expenditure method. Expenditure method में क्या होता है is the total expenditure incurred by the society. Just calculate that. So what are the different things that are included in the total expenditure? That is the personal consumption expenditure, the personal consumption by each individual of the country, the net domestic investment, the government expenditure on consumption as well as capital goods, and the net export. Okay. So GNP is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C क्या होता है? The private consumption expenditure. I is the savings plus the gross capital formation. G equal to consumption expenditure by government, and X minus M is the net export. So whichever term you don't understand, please write it in the comment section. I'll try to describe it more in the comment section. Now the question arises, which method to use? Which method is most apt to calculate national income? So basically the idea is there is no method which is universally applicable. In essence, based on the sector, it's primary or secondary or tertiary, and what is the output and which output of that sector can be calculated easily, that decides the method to be used. So in case of primary and secondary, primary means the agriculture, forestry, horticulture, etc. Secondary is industry, mining, etc. So they produce tangible products, so you can calculate the price of the output that is being produced. So in primary and secondary sectors, the output method is usually used. In case of tertiary or service sector, for example, let's say in case of a teacher teaches. So how do you calculate the amount of teaching that a teacher teaches? You cannot, right? So what you can calculate is the amount of income that the teacher generates. So in case of tertiary sector, income method is preferable. So you have finished mostly the major national income part. So here let's see what's happening in India. Before independence in 1868, Dadabhai Naoroji wrote a book called Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. There he calculated the per capita income of rupees 20 for every individual in the country, which is very less. In 1911, Findlay Shears calculated it as rupees 49. 1913-14, Wadia and Joshi calculated at 44.30. It was only during 1925 to 29 that Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao, he calculated it as rupees 76, and he was the first person to calculate it in a scientific way. There was proper methodology used to calculate it. So we can consider rupees 76 as one of the correct per capita income. Okay. Post independence in 1949, National Income Committee was formed under the chairmanship of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. You will be knowing about P.C. Mahalanobis a lot because in the early stage of planning, Mahalanobis model was being followed by the government of India. In 1954, P.C. Mahalanobis calculated the per capita income as rupees 246.9 for the period of 1950 to 54. Thereafter, Central Statistical Organization was formed, and in 1956, first official estimate of Central Statistical Organization was published with base year of 1948 and 49. All these things were very methodological and in scientific nature. So I have finished the national income part. Although it covers the very basics of national income, I would request you to go back to the reference book that I have mentioned earlier and read from those. If you have any doubt, please write it in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel. And if you have liked this video, please give a thumbs up. This will give me also boost to make many such more videos. So I'll see you guys in the next video.